Welcome to the fan base. Welcome to the fan base. Buffalo, this the fan base.
Fourth and goal, we going forward, that's the only option. Yeah, we came to circle wagons, tell me who gon' stop us. This a no-fly zone, defense get it rocking. Gritty in the end zone, cause the camera's watching. Double coverage on Stephon, boy, who checking Davis. Don't let Josh tuck and run, he ain't nothing to play with. Shutting down the edge of Vaughn, ain't no one-on-one. Check gon' take it to the crib like he forgot his son. Other fans still think it's sweet like we don't run the East. Dion knock him off his feet and put that boy to sleep. Welcome to Buffalo, this the fan base. Where Super Bowl ring the only mandate. 25-year drought, time to set it straight. Team full of dogs, win it all, never play it safe.
Welcome to the fan base. Welcome to the fan base. Buffalo, this the fan base.
What's going on, Bills Mafia? You are watching our Week 10 presentation of the Bills, our Buffalo fan base Madden 22 Madden cast. We have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Minnesota Vikings this week, so super excited about that. We got Harrison Phillips revenge game. We got a Stephon Diggs revenge game. Dalvin Cook versus James Cook. It's going to be a great matchup tonight. We are going to be your commentators for the day. I am Justice Radford. That is my bro Jake Jordan. What's going on, Jake? How you doing today, bro?
Dude, I am doing great. Of course, we got a bunch of good stuff lined up. Every single week, there's little tiny improvements that we do to the Madden cast that you're going to see. Like last week, we kind of introduced the concept of having an intro into the game, kind of like an actual broadcast, and then, maybe doing a little bit up on the normal Madden presentation of an intro. We did a little bit of that this week. We've got another layer already thrown on top of that. Can't wait for everybody to see it. I can't wait to see the Buffalo Bills take on the Vikings, because I don't know if this is really a revenge game for Harrison Phillips. I mean, I don't think he wants revenge, but I think Stephon Diggs wants the real revenge today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you said, we add new stuff every single week. We're going to continue this next off season as well, especially now that we know it works. You guys love it. You guys have been super supportive, and obviously it's a good idea is if other people are doing it as well. So we are definitely going to keep this going, and I can't even imagine what type of stuff we're going to be doing next year. But because at today's show, look, the production behind it is amazing. So I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see everything we got for you guys in store. But today the Bills,
I gotta cut in here really quick. It's exactly what my tweet said this morning. We're going to be working for the Bills next year. That's what we're going to be doing. So
1,000,000%. Like it's happened already. Like I told him, I was like, we're going to look back on this tweet. Like,
yeah, that tweet, I'm like, whether people like it or not, the goal is like, they're going to see our stuff and then be like, oh shit, you guys want to come out? Like, I don't care if I'm an intern. I don't care if I'm the mailman for them. Like the mail
guy. Be in the building. I'll work my way up. Just put me in
man. Just get me in there.
Absolutely. But today we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Minnesota Vikings. This is a Week 10 matchup. Buffalo Bills are currently 7-1. They're looking to go 8-1 today.
Yeah.
After a W last week versus the division rival New York Jets. Super high scoring affair, but the Bills were able to pull it out in the end and get the W. But today, obviously, a team that's a little better than the Jets. A couple superstars on the field. You got your Dalvin Cook, you got your Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins is pretty good.
Don't let Mike hear you say that. He's
but
on here and yell at us.
It is the return. We get Josh Allen versus Anthony Barr part 2. Is he still?
No, he's not even on the Vikings anymore. I think somebody, I think like Carolina's working him out or something this week. I don't know. It's okay. Well, so we don't get that revenge, I guess. But
we see the Bills, facing the Vikings for the first time since the infamous leap that Josh Allen did over Anthony Barr. So that still lives on in spirit. But what are you expecting from this game today, Jake?
Yeah, the big thing in this game is that we haven't played the Vikings since that season, and everybody kind of like forgets. Obviously, some don't like us, but there were people the other day that were like, oh, yeah, Stefan, we've played the Vikings before, because they think that last game Stefan was on the team. He wasn't. This is the first game that Diggs will be playing against the Vikings since he was traded. So this is going to be a really good game. And what I'm expecting today is, I'm not sure. With Tre'Davious White being back, I don't know. I'm sure that Justin Jefferson is going to get his catches. And I assume that Dalvin Cook is still going to do pretty good. Again, we've seen when you have pretty good dynamic running backs running against this Bills team, at least in Madden, there's always giant holes there that they're able to find. So I would expect today that it's probably going to be a pretty good day running for Dalvin Cook. I don't know what the Bills' attack is going to be. Again, the secondary for the Minnesota Vikings is actually pretty good. So, we'll see who's going to be that wide receiver that takes the step up today. I don't know if it's going to be Diggs. Of course, I would like for it to be Diggs. But yeah, no, this is going to be a great game today. There's a bunch of different ways it can go. And that's what makes this so great, is that it's unpredictable. You muted, my man.
I hate when I do that. You would think I would know by now. I'm sorry, guys. I want to send a shout out to everybody in the comment section. My man Richard, Coach Boom in the building. Guys, please do us a favor. If you are in the chat, if you are watching, please make sure you like and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. My man Mooseman in the building. He has a question, Jake. He says over under Josh Allen 350 passing yards today, and also for you guys in the comment section. Make sure you answer this. We want to know what you guys think. Is Josh Allen going to go over or under 350 passing yards for, versus this secondary that Jake was just talking about?
So I can't really remember what he's done the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been super spectacular. He's been around that range of 350. Depending on how the game goes, if I was a betting man, of course, I'd say over, because Josh Allen in real life, like if this was the real life situation, I'd be like, oh yeah, Josh Allen's just going to throw it no matter what. But I'll take the over today. I'll take the over.
All right, so we got the over. Make sure you guys let us know what you think. If it's going to be over 350, under 350, we will see. Shout out to DH in the building as well. Hey, we're glad to be back. We were here for the Jets game last week, but we did miss the Packers game, which was pretty cool because they took their first L of the season, and I don't know if I want to win.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have wanted to be there for that L, but you know what? Also, for the people that are watching on Twitter, go ahead and retweet this, get this out to everybody, because I promise you the production you are about to see on this game is absolutely worth it. You're going to want to be sharing it out, because if it was a post that was just posted on Twitter by the Buffalo Bills, you'd probably retweet it. And that's how confident I am in this production we got coming up.
Absolutely. My man Jake out here working hard. Well, we all working hard over here.
Oh my God, dude. Everybody.
Absolutely. So we are going to get into the matchup here soon. But before we do, we want some score predictions. All right. So make sure you guys drop your score predictions in the comment section. Jake, what do you think is going to happen today at the,
because I don't know what each team is going to do against each other. I'm going to say that this game, I don't think this is a 50 game. I don't think this is like a 50 to like 40 something game like we saw last week. Maybe like 47 to like this is hard. 47. I'm going to say 42 to 27.
All right. Bills. All right. I'm going to go Bills 37, Vikings 17. All right. Oh, and by the way, before we get into the game, which was coming up next, I do want to say the last time the Bills played the Vikings, the Bills were like 17-point underdogs or something ridiculously crazy like that. And it was like the biggest upset in NFL history at the time, or was it NFL history? I think it might have been. It was like a huge upset.
Yeah, so, we were supposed to be terrible. Well, because that was Josh Allen getting the start, right? That was one of his.
That was his second start.
Yeah, that was like his second start. So They expected us to be terrible, and then we just went out there and did what the Bills do, and prove everybody wrong.
Absolutely. So without further ado, we're going to get into the Buffalo Bills versus the Minnesota Vikings, the second NFC North matchup. And, after the loss to the Packers, we'll see what they can do versus the Vikings today. But we're going to go into that game out and give it to you guys live.
All right. We're going to get into it in 3, 2, 1.
We set the tone.
And of course, from beautiful Orchard Park, New York, we, from the Buffalo fan base, bring you your Week 10 matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams with aspirations to make it to the postseason. Of course, beyond that, we've got the Minnesota Vikings in the Devontae Adams Packers division. And of course, we've got the Bills running the AFC. As always, we are your commentators, Jake, Jordan, and Justice General Justice. How are we doing today?
I am excited. Listen, man, this is everything we've been waiting for all week. Just like in the regular season, you're waiting for the Bills to play on Sunday. And we got a great one for you today. Well, Kirk Cousins is no slouch, so I'm expecting to see him maybe go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen today because he's got the wide receivers and weapons to do it. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. The Vikings definitely have some firepower to work with.
They definitely do, and just look at the passing stats right there. Again, some people don't really remember that Kirk Cousins is even still a quarterback in the league, which is crazy. But he's one of those quarterbacks that kind of hides under the radar a little bit. So definitely we are on the call today. I am on, as always, color commentary, and Justice is on play-by-play as we're about to get started here in Orchard Park, Week 10 of the NFL season.
And before we go to kickoff, let's get a look at those rules for the simulation.
Sure, we're going to bring up these rules really quick. So, of course, the rules are, as always, 15-minute quarters, all Madden difficulty, with the QB ratings matching those leaked from Madden 23, and all updated rosters to reflect team changes with rounds 1 through 3 rookies. And the asterisk there means unless a later round rookie was a specialist, because usually if you spend a draft pick on a kicker or a punter, they're making the team, and no user input, all CPU as always.
We're ready to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Bills, Vikings now from Orchard Park. Tyler Bass lines up for the kickoff, and we are off. Week 10 has begun, and we will see a return here from the Vikings. He takes it out to the 18-yard line before he stopped. Not going anywhere. Richard Gilliam on the tackle. Now, Jake, the Bills have the best secondary in the league. They have the best defense in the league. But Kirk Cousins has put up starter-worthy numbers that keeps getting him paid. So what do you expect to see today from him versus this stout Bills defense?
I don't know exactly how much you're going to see from Kirk Cousins, but again, he has the weapons to be able to go at this secondary if need be, but he's really going to have to work for it. I can really see the Vikings leaning on the run game here with Dalvin Cook, one of the most dynamic running backs in the league.
1st and 10 from their own 18. Kirk Cousins on the play action. He has plenty of time, but not enough. Ed Oliver on the first play of the game gets a sack. That's the third-year man out of Houston, and takes Kirk Cousins down for a 13-yard loss.
Yeah, and if you want a tone center, there it is right there. a sack on the first play of the game. Again, we saw how much time that Kirk Cousins had back there, but to talk about this Bills secondary, giving him absolutely no options, and then Big Ed Oliver gets back there for a sack on the first play.
Behind the chains, they start in shotgun. Dalvin Cook takes the run and goes nowhere. Greg Rousseau on the stop, and it'll be 3rd and 22.
Yeah, and right here, you know, they're going to let Dalvin Cook run it, but at 3rd and 22, they're at the 6-yard line. There's not a lot that you can do here, and right now, Buffalo's defense setting the tone early.
We'll see what the Vikings do here. 3rd and long. He's in the gun. They're going to throw. He's in his own end zone. He's going deep. He has him in, but it falls incomplete, and the Vikings go 3 and out in their first possession.
And there's Tre'Davious White just draped all over Justin Jefferson back there, and that's what we said. It's going to be a battle here today. Both of these secondaries, no slouches, but these wide receivers are going to have a pretty tough time of trying to get open easily.
No fakes here. The punt is off, and we will see what the Bills special teams can do as no fair catch called. Isaiah McKenzie back for the return. So no more Tavon Austin. We see Isaiah McKenzie back there, and the Bills will start in plus territory from the Vikings 44-yard line as Josh Allen steps onto the field for the first time this week. What are you expecting to see versus this Vikings defense?
Well, he definitely needs to shake off the rough performance that he had last week against the Jets. 4 interceptions, I believe, on the day. And, you know, Josh Allen just looking to come out here and prove that he's still that MVP type of quarterback that everybody had him painted as in the preseason.
Josh Allen starts out under center. James Cook Devin Singletary in the backfield. Josh Allen is out of the pocket. He's going deep.
Ooh.
Oh, dangerous throw. But Tommy Sweeney was down there in the end zone. Almost caught, but 1-on-1 to your tight end. Are you upset with that shot, Jim?
No, not at all. I mean, if you see that shot down there, the amount of confidence that Josh Allen has in his guys, I don't see why he would, in real life, that on a one-on-one like that, we've seen his players able to get up and pull down some crazier throws. So definitely it's still a good attempt there on first down by Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, quick throw. And he finds Jamison Crowder, who picks up a gain of 9 on the play. The Bills set themselves up nicely on 3rd and inches.
Again, we're going to see Josh Allen probably dedicate throwing the balls to each of his receivers, because that's what this Bills offense likes to do. Is in situations like this, they might go with the run, but all other times they're going to be dishing it out to whoever is the best option on that play.
And they do go with the run. Zach Moss out of Utah picks up the first down on the play.
And we've seen the Bills kind of do this the last couple of weeks, is that whenever they get in these situations, they will use the pass to set up the run. And kind of the problem with the Bills is that everybody says they don't really have a run game. The problem is the efficiency of it. So if you're able to get in these situations, 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, the Bills' run game is more than capable enough of getting that to keep these chains moving.
The Bills, after picking up the first down, Josh Allen's under center. He finds his man Devin Singletary on the swing pass. He picks up a gain of 1 on the play, or no gain at all, actually, and we bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and we're just going to continue to see that maybe the Bills kind of take a little bit more of a not as aggressive approach as they have in the last couple of weeks, especially with Josh Allen coming off that 4-interception performance.
Under center again, Josh Allen. He's stepping out of the pocket. Looks like he's going to take off and run. And he picks up the first down after a 11-yard run. He takes it down to the Minnesota 21-yard line.
Jordan, we've been saying it every single week that we call these games with Josh Allen, is that his legs are just as much of a weapon as his arms. So if you're going to leave him open right there, he had a ton of green in front of him. And what's he do? He pulls it down, and is still just proving why he's still one of the most efficient rushing quarterbacks in the league.
Josh Allen, he's almost hard to play man versus him because you still have to count somebody to look out for his running ability. We got a man in motion. That's Gabriel Davis. Under center, Josh Allen. Quick throw. That's O.J. Howard who takes it down to the 15-yard line, and a gain of 6 on the play. That'll be 2nd and short.
Yeah, and the Bills are just doing the outside of that long pass down there to Tommy Sweeney. They're just taking these short throws to move down the field and put them in better position. Look, we've seen it the last couple of weeks. The Bills are just going to methodically move down the field, and it's continuing here.
Josh Allen in the gun. Throws quick and touchdown! That's Jameson Crowder on the catch. And that's a 13-yard touchdown pass from number 17 to 82.
Yeah, and Josh Allen just threading the needle there. Obviously, you see Mike Zimmer, who is not the coach of the Minnesota Vikings anymore. But look, he just threads it in here to his guy. And with four Vikings there, Jameson Crowder still able to propel himself forward enough to break the plane and get the touchdown. Great play there by 82.
The tackle actually propelled the receiver into the end zone, so maybe not the smartest play in the world from the Vikings defender there, as Tyler Bass puts the Bills up 7-0. So Josh Allen 4 for 5 for 30 yards and a touchdown on that drive. After the 4 interception game last week, he started off strong here on this drive.
Sure, and that's what you want to see. And let's not forget the Buffalo Bills defense giving the Bills that great field position for them to just slowly march in and not having to drive the entire field. Just a great set from the Bills defensively and offensively, a great showing. And right now, if Minnesota wants to do anything, they can't let themselves have any more sequences like what happened to start this game.
Not. So we'll see Tyler Bass on the field for the second time as he gets set to kick it off back to the Vikings after the Bills score on their first drive. We will see another return. Let's see if he can get out past the 20 this time. He doesn't, but he gets exactly to the 20 where the man O.J. Howard picks up the tackle.
Yeah, and again, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, you got to come out here and Justin Jefferson, a guy who obviously has a lot to prove in this game. Obviously, the comparisons between him and Diggs, with Justin Jefferson being used with the pick that the Bills gave the Minnesota Vikings in the Diggs trade. Lots of comparisons here, but, I think he's lived up to it. I don't think he has to prove anything this game, but definitely, he's out there trying to prove something.
We'll see what the Vikings can do on their second drive of the game as Kirk Cousins starts out under center. He's got plenty of time again. He dumps it off to Dalvin Cook, but there is some yellow on the field. We'll see what the referees have to say. It looks like a hold. Roughing the passer. So we got a roughing the passer on number 90, Daquan Jones, and that'll give the Vikings an extra 15.
And I wish Madden would actually put in replays so that we could see the penalty happen. It would just maybe bring a little bit more realism to the game there. So I wish we could have seen that. But again, Daquan Jones coming down, maybe hitting Kirk Cousins a little low before he could get the pass out. And you're going to get that roughing the passer call every day.
Play action fake from Kirk Cousins. He's got more time. He finds his man. That's Justin Jefferson for a gain of 20 on the play, and that's a first down.
And that's some great control there by Justin Jefferson to keep his feet in bounds while he catches the pass. And right there again, that's why he's still one of the top young receivers and why this trade between the Bills and the Vikings benefited both sides. Because even though they lost Stephon Diggs, the Minnesota Vikings got a guy that he can make plays exactly like this. Watch this. Dives, keeps the feet in while he extends. Just a great catch by Justin Jefferson.
2 feet and a knee. That's 4 feet down for the second-year man out of LSU. Absolutely burning the linebacker Terrell. Dalvin Cook breaking tackles out on the stretch play, and that's a gain of 5 on the play. Looked like a really good run, but he picks up about half the yardage he needs for a first down.
Yeah, and carries a few Bills defenders on his back while he's doing it. And then Von Miller, new addition for the Buffalo Bills this year, able to bring him down.
Kirk Cousins in the gun on 2nd and 5. Oh, he's got man in his face. Ooh. Oh, he takes a shot, but it falls incomplete. The rookie Kyer Elam on the coverage.
Didn't really have to do much. Kirk Cousins really overshot that one, and his receiver went up to try to get it, but Kyer Elam just there to make sure that that receiver could not fall back and let that ball hit him right in the hands. Great defense by the rookie.
Very important third down here as Kirk Cousins is in the gun. more time, and he finds his receiver, Justin Jefferson, but he leads him out of bounds for a gain of 1 when he was wide open. He could have picked up that first down, Jake.
Easily. If Kirk Cousins had gotten that ball out a little bit earlier, then Justin Jefferson could have took it, cut up field, and got quite a few more yards as he had Green in front of him. But now, 4th and 4, Vikings are pretty much set up now to where they're going to have to kick this ball and settle for 3.
So we will see the Vikings kicker take place and step on the field, and he looks to make the score 3-0. So great stop here from the Bills defense. The kick is up, and it is. Did he make it?
I don't know. Usually it says it's
the
good.
score will change.
No,
it's no good. He missed the field goal, Jake. And that's a 45-yarder. You expect your kicker, your NFL kicker, to make that.
And it's plays like that that we might be looking at the end of the game and saying, man, if they had just gotten those 3 points to start off with, now with the Bills starting at the 35-yard line, I mean, again, they've still got some more green, but definitely a little bit further where they would have been if they had to return a kick. So, the Vikings just keep kind of doing these things that are setting the Bills up with more advantages. Not what you want to see.
So we'll see the Bills with good field position again after the stop. He finds Dawson Knox, and Dawson Knox cuts upfield and gets a great gain. Dawson Knox with a gain of 20 on the play, and that is a Buffalo Bills first down.
And in training camp, we saw Josh Allen talk about that yak is one of the things that the Bills have been very lacking in the last couple of years, and that's something that he put on himself. But right now, his receivers have definitely helped him more this year with the yards after catch rating, and right there was a great example of it by Dawson Knox.
Josh Allen in the pistol formation. He's there inside the Minnesota territory. He play action fakes it, throws it over the middle. That's a dot. And Jamison Crowder picks up his 3rd catch of the day. And we haven't seen much of Stephon Diggs versus his old team here today.
No, we haven't. And you got to assume they've got Patrick Peterson out there on him. And, I'm sure Stephon Diggs will get open a couple times. But when you got a veteran like Pat Pete out there, it's going to be hard to get open on every single play.
Josh Allen comes out in the gun again. He's got time. Dawson Knox doesn't turn his head around for the pass, and that falls incomplete.
Yeah, it seemed like he wasn't even looking for that one. But, again, we're going to see what Josh Allen does here today. Pretty much that could have just been thrown it away. But right there, his tight end not looking for it. And we're going to see again. We're going to see another down right here.
Josh Allen comes out under center from the Vikings 33. Look like we might see a blitz here. Gabriel Davis in motion. 4-man front.
Oh.
And it's intercepted. Kendricks on the pick. And Josh Allen, after a 4-interception week last week, he comes out and is picked off again by the Vikings star linebacker.
And it's one of the same exact picks that we saw last week. The ball isn't even thrown in the direction of the receiver. It's thrown directly to the defender. And right there, that just seems like Madden trying to throw a bone to the Vikings here in this simulation.
Well, we'll see if the Vikings can take advantage of it as we see Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins step back out onto the field. We'll see if they can put some points on the board on this drive after a 3-and-out and then a missed field goal, but they start great field position from their own 31-yard line, better than what they've had on the kickoffs. So we'll see what they can do with it as Kirk Cousins comes out in the gun. 1st and 10. They give it to Cook. Cook goes nowhere. The rookie Tyrell Bernard, and we have an injury on the field. Looks like a Vikings offensive lineman, but how about the rookie Tyrell Bernard so far this year, Jake?
He has been going in and absolutely outperforming what a lot of people in the Buffalo Bills camp and in the fan base have assumed that he would do. And right now he's been out there and they have been using him heavily in coverage. And he knows how to go back there and be a predominantly run-stuffing linebacker. So that's what they drafted him for. That's what he's been doing, and that's all you can ask for a later-round rookie that you draft.
taking that spot of AJ Klein. We've seen a ton of it, Terrell Bernard so far this season. We'll see if we see more. Tremaine Edmonds looks like he could be blitzing, and he drops back into coverage with a 4-man rush. Kirk Cousins is under pressure, and he gets the ball off just in time. Gregory Rousseau was on his bottom.
Oh, yeah. Gregory Rousseau, the second-year man out of Miami, just barreling down on Kirk Cousins, and right behind him, you had Von Miller. So, what are you going to do in that situation? If you're Kirk Cousins, you got to get that ball out quick and make sure it's not getting intercepted or fumbling that ball.
Kirk Cousins, 3rd and 9. He's going deep. And he looks for Thielen, but it falls incomplete. Great coverage by the All-Pro, Tre'Davious White.
And again, Tre'Davious White's been back for a couple of weeks here, and it's really shown. We saw that maybe the passing stats of some of the earlier games have been a little bit inflated because Tre'Davious White, they had Dane Jackson out there, but now we can see we've got Kyer Elam across from Tre'Davious White, and these passing stats the last couple of weeks, at least on Trey White, they have gone down significantly, and the Bills surely did miss him.
So the Vikings can't take advantage of the turnover, and they punt it away again. So they've yet to put points on the board, but Josh Allen will step out to the field for the 3rd time today. First was a touchdown, second was an interception. We'll see what he can do here on his 3rd attempt.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're Josh Allen, again, I think the Bills need to go for a little bit more of a safe approach here, but it doesn't look like they're doing that with 3 out to the right.
Josh Allen in the gun. He finds Cook, and there it is. That's James Cook, the brother of Dalvin. So we'll see a little blood rivalry here today with the running backs taking on each other. Of course, James Cook out of Georgia and the NFL veteran Dalvin.
Sure, and I'd like to see if maybe the Buffalo Bills are strategically going to plan to give the rookie a little bit more play against his brother's team here. As we've seen, predominantly, it's been Devin Singletary all year.
Josh Allen in the gun. He comes out on 2nd down and quick throw. He finds Jamison Crowder again, but he gets absolutely smacked. Not before he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, and if you look at Jamison Crowder, he's kind of been that reliable weapon today. Every single game it seems to change. Last week he had a huge game against his former team, the New York Jets, and right now he's been the overall #1 weapon for Josh Allen.
Allen under the gun from his own 33-yard line. He drops back the pass. He throws it over the middle. Finds his man. That's Dawson Knox for a gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, and we're going to see right here what the Buffalo Bills are going to do. Are we going to see Stephon Diggs maybe get out there a little bit more? And, some people throwing some doubt on Jamison Crowder coming in when people called him a straight-up replacement for Cole Beasley. But this year he's been showing it almost looks like they don't skip a beat with that slot receiver.
Josh Allen gives it to his man, Devin Singletary, who finds a hole. That's a big game. 10 yards and a 1st down for this Bills offense.
Yeah, and if the offensive line is going to play like they have in the last few weeks, holes that big, I mean, why not just hand it to Devin Singletary and let him run right through? He's easy pickings all day there for a running back. And you see, just look at the size of that. Just great blocking by the Bills offensive line, and that has to do with the new addition of offensive line coach Aaron Kromer.
You could have drove a truck through that line, Jay.
Sure you could.
Josh Allen from his own 49, just at midfield. He steps out under center. Give it back to
there you go
Devin
again.
Singletary. Another great gain, and that's another gain of 6 on the play, and the Bills are staying ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills might be on to something a little bit here. We've seen when they learn that they can just keep handing the ball to Devin Singletary, they will do it over and over again until you stop them. And right now it looks like this Bills offensive line's kind of found a bit of a recipe against this Vikings defense.
Play action fake. We got a blitz from the Vikings, and there it is. Stephon Diggs brings it back versus his former team and beats the rookie Andrew Booth Jr. for the 1st down.
It's pretty surprising that they have Andrew Booth on Stephon Diggs when they have a veteran in Patrick Peterson out there. Maybe lining up your rookie cornerback against Stephon Diggs might not be the best play for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, he's not on Diggs on this play, so maybe they took your advice. But Diggs does get his second catch of the game, and that's a quick out for a pickup of 7 on the play.
Yeah, and Josh Allen again, he's being very cautious, sitting back, waiting for his guys on the perfect opportunity right there. He could have thrown that to Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs, but there's probably a little bit more of an emphasis with Josh Allen to throw it to Diggs against his former team.
Under center, now inside the red zone. We'll see what the Bills offense can do here. And they give it to Singletary. Singletary picks up the first down on the play. That's 3 rushes of 20 yards for Singletary. He's starting off the game really nicely.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Buffalo Bills, why stop? You set yourselves up in these short yardage situations to get the first downs. Why not hand it to Devin Singletary? He's proved that he's more than worthy of being one of the, maybe least talked about backs in the league, but one of the most efficient.
Woo! That is a great run by Singletary as he puts the linebacker on his bottom, 5 yards on the pickup.
And we've seen Singletary again all season this year. He is not afraid to lay the boom on someone, something that we've kind of associated with Zach Moss making people make business decisions. Maybe Devin Singletary's taking a book out of that.
We'll see him do it again, but not this time. The linebacker comes up and stops him for a gain of 2 on the play.
And that's what the Bills are waiting for. They're going to keep running the ball with Devin Singletary until they can force the Minnesota Vikings defense to actually come and respect what they're going to do and not just assume that they're going to pass the ball on every single play.
5 down men. Josh Allen under center is getting out of the pocket. He's going to run. He's going to slide down at the 2-yard line. That's a Buffalo first down. It'll be first and goal from the Minnesota 2.
And I'm going to show you right here in these goal line situations, this is a Devin Singletary or Zach Moss situation right here for the Buffalo Bills.
Heavy formation. Zach Moss in the backfield. Josh Allen, stretch play. Zach Moss walks in for the touchdown, and that's why they call him Nostradamus.
Exactly. There you go. Again, this situation, we've seen it all year. The Buffalo Bills have been one of the best rushing teams in the red zone right there, and there's Zach Moss putting another touchdown up on the season. And the Bills, when they need a couple of yards, their running backs have been more than capable of doing it this season.
How about that block from newly acquired Roger Saffold? Absolutely puts the defender on his butt, and the Bills take a 2-touchdown lead over the Minnesota Vikings. So, I mean, revenge game for Stephon Diggs. Looks like he's going to get his revenge thus far.
Yeah, at least at this moment. Right now, we've seen it the last couple of weeks. Madden seems to have a propensity of putting the Buffalo Bills up big to start the game, and then at about halftime it completely switches and you see a pretty good game come out of it. So I don't want to say that's what we're going to see here today, but again, it's only the first quarter with about 2 minutes left, so we'll see. The Minnesota Vikings cannot get in a hole against this Buffalo Bills team where it's going to be hard for them to climb out of it.
Jake, Kirk Cousins and his offense hasn't done very much of anything versus this stout Bills defense so far. They have to get something going here, or they might find themselves down by 3 scores before the first half is over.
Yeah, exactly. And you do not want to see that. There's Von Miller on special teams.
On the kickoff, and I mean, it's effective as the return man only makes it out to the 16-yard line. You probably won't see too much of that in real life, though.
I was about to say, I would be surprised if you see Von Miller play one special team snap all year. That is not something I was anticipating seeing here today, but there you go. Von Miller going down there, stopping pretty good at the 16-yard line. Basically should have taken the knee in the end zone, but now the Vikings here, not in really good position to start out with.
So Kirk Cousins, realizing the urgency of the situation, comes out under center. Man in motion. That's Osgood, and Cook gets the ball, but he goes nowhere. Tremaine Edmonds on the stop for a pickup of nothing on the play.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the play right there, all of Cook's momentum is stopped by Ed Oliver basically bullying the double team put on him and knocking a man down right in front of Cook to where he has to stop for a minute, and that gave Tremaine Edmonds the perfect time. So,
play action fake, and it works out well as we saw the linebackers come up and look for the run, but it allowed them to get the ball out to Irv Smith Jr. for the first down.
And just to finish that, that gave Tremaine Edmonds the perfect opportunity to come down and stop Dalvin Cook. And there, Irv Smith Jr., not somebody that you hear his name talked about a lot, but he's still a reliable option for the Vikings. Losing Kyle Rudolph, and they were comfortable letting him go, and Irv Smith is going to have to take that step up in this offense.
Under center again, we see the exact same play we just saw, and Tremaine Edmonds does the exact same thing we just saw as well, for where he stops him for a pickup of 1 on the play.
Look, and this is what the Buffalo Bills really should be using Tremaine Edmonds mostly as, is with his big body, he basically lines up as another lineman to stuff a hole so the running backs can't run through it. And right there, they've just used it to perfection as he gets another tackle.
Tremaine Edmonds is all over the field right now, Jake.
They are not. It is Tremaine Edmonds' mission to sit there and make sure that Dalvin Cook gets no yards, and he has done that to perfection here today, and that's exactly what the Buffalo Bills want to see out of their man in a contract year.
Important third down here for the Vikings offense, as you see a 4-man rush, and he picks up the first down with a nice throw out to the veteran all-pro receiver Adam Thielen.
Yeah, and Adam Thielen again. We're going to see these wide receivers for the Minnesota Vikings. They're able to get open. If you give Kirk Cousins time, these guys will be able to get open. You've got 2 basically all pros on either side. So, we're going to see if Kirk Cousins can take advantage of that here today and how many times that actually happens against this Bills defense.
So Kirk Cousins takes his first snap inside the Bills territory today, and Dalvin Cook gives them a little bit better field position with a pickup of 4 on the run. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter.
Maybe. Might be. I don't know. Let's see if they run this one out here, or if they just give it to Dalvin Cook one more time.
Are they going to get a play? They do get a playoff, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And nice throw there to Justin Jefferson. And now they're deep inside the Bills territory. So we will come back to the second quarter. And the Buffalo Bills have 14, the Vikings 0, but they are marching down the field, Jake.
Yeah, and you can tell just looking by the stats, it's the passing plays. Josh Allen has been very efficient in his passes. And again, his wide receivers giving him a lot of yards after catch. So definitely the Buffalo Bills have been very efficient here today, running and throwing the ball, something that we have seen all season. We're going to see if the Minnesota Vikings can hang with them.
1st and 10, ball on the 34-yard line. Blitz coming from the Bills defense. Bernard gets there, but not quick enough. He gets it out to his man, Justin Jefferson, for a first down. Teron Johnson on the tackle.
And Teron Johnson right there all over Jefferson, but Kirk Cousins, being the veteran he is, just putting the ball in the perfect spot for Jefferson to catch it, and it results in a first down. And now at the 22-yard line, these Minnesota Vikings look like they found a recipe that works.
Ball at the 22-yard line. Kirk Cousins is under center. Justin Jefferson lined out wide left, but they give it to Dalvin Cook, who picks up a gain of 4. So not a great showing from Dalvin Cook so far. The Bills defense has really been ready for anything that they've thrown from a running perspective.
They have, and it looks like they've really, really planned for it. They probably knew that the Vikings were going to come in here today and really have an emphasis on the run game.
And we see another run, and this one's better as he picks up the first down on the play.
Yeah, just really being able to work the seam and kind of just go in between the tackles, and with some great blocks set up there. This is why you've got Dalvin Cook. He's a really shifty receiver, and he can really power his way through some things. He's great overall. And now in these 3rd and inches situations, this is where you go to Dalvin Cook all day.
So no first down on the play. Dalvin Cook gets the first down this time, and he almost gets the first down, but he tried to juke at the 2-yard line, maybe unnecessarily, but either way, this gives Minnesota a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, right here, like we were talking about Singletary and Moss for the Vikings, That's kind of what Dalvin Cook is in these situations too, where you just need a little bit of short yardage. But as soon as he finds that hole, he can bust through. And then right there, now the Vikings set up in great position here. This might just be another Dalvin Cook run.
Jordan Poyer with the touchdown saving tackle. We'll see Kirk Cousins in the gun from the 2-yard line. He gives it to Cook, but the Bills are ready. Von Miller, Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, who else?
Like I said, if I'm the one who could sit here and say that that was Dalvin Cook territory, definitely the Buffalo Bills knew it was as well. And that's why they're sitting there again. When they're prepared to see Dalvin Cook get that ball, they are going to stop him. And right now, this run defense by the Bills has had a absolutely amazing showing here today.
So now 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Cousins in the gun again. They're giving it back to Cook, and he gets the touchdown this time. Nice run from the Vikings offense. And, I mean, I probably could have guessed another run was coming, but the Bills defense weren't anticipating it.
Yeah, maybe they were crashing a little bit too much at the middle, but he goes out wide, couple great blocks from his linemen, and there he just basically walks right into the end zone. And that's what you need if you're the Vikings. You know, they just need to hang into this game just a little bit. Don't let themselves get in too much of a hole, and they can still continue to utilize Dalvin Cook and not feel like they have to throw the ball if they're not down big.
So just like that, it's a 1-score game. Maybe it should be 10-14 and not be a complete touchdown difference, Jake. But either way, the Vikings finally put some points up on the board, and it could have got ugly real quick.
Yeah, it could have. And honestly, we've seen it the last few weeks that it can get ugly really quick. And the Buffalo Bills, you know, the Minnesota Vikings, maybe a team that's a little bit more on par with the Buffalo Bills when it comes to their defensive line, their secondary, their offensive line play. Really, the only difference between these two teams is how dynamic of a quarterback that they have. But other than that, the offensive weapons don't lack that much. The defensive weapons are still great. It doesn't surprise me that this is a close game. And in real life, I think the Buffalo Bills are not going to have an easy time with the Minnesota Vikings.
You see Isaiah McKenzie with his first kick return of the day, and he only takes it out to the 16, so maybe he should have kept it in the end zone, but nonetheless, Josh Allen will take the field. And Jake, Harrison Phillips here making his first trip back to Buffalo since he left the team this offseason. He has been very quiet, and the run game has actually been very productive for the Buffalo Bills, so what do you expect to see from that defensive line?
Sure it has, and we need to see these guys get a little bit more pressure applied onto Josh Allen and the running backs and just kind of shut down those holes. But right now, Harrison Phillips lined up against Ryan Bates. You know, those guys are probably pretty familiar with each other.
And Josh Allen as well as Stephon Diggs both have their X factors flashing, and that's a pickup of 9.5 on the plate. That'll bring up 2nd and inches.
2nd and inches, these short yard situations. The Buffalo Bills can go to the run, and instead of feeling afraid that they can anymore, Devin Singletary has proved more than worthy enough that he can get those yards and then some.
High formation. That's a give to Devin Singletary. He goes nowhere with a tackle by Kendricks, but he picks up the first down first.
Yep, and there you go. You move the chains, and now the Buffalo Bills get another set of downs. So right here, we're going to see Josh Allen and these guys work. I wouldn't be surprised if they use this momentum to just move down the field slowly and just keep chipping at this clock.
Josh Allen throws. He finds his tight end. That's a great grab by Dawson Knox for a pickup of 6 on the play.
Yeah, and Josh Allen, outside of the interception, has been very efficient here today. I believe only having 3 incompletions. So definitely, you know, the Bills can use this to their advantage if they feel that the Vikings are just going to run the ball consistently. You know, keeping them off the field might be the best option.
High formation they give is to Devin Singletary, who goes nowhere. Speaking of Harrison Phillips, he makes the stop for give Devin Singletary only a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, and as you see Ed Oliver over there giving some tutelage to the second-year man, Greg Rousseau, and right now that defensive line, they have been, you know, pretty good here today, and especially very effective of getting back there to Kirk Cousins and affecting him. And right now, you like to see the energy all around with this Bills team is up.
Big third down here for this Vikings defense as they don't stop the Bills, and Jamison Crowder continues his big day with his 5th catch of the night.
Yeah, we're going to see the Bills continue to use Jamison Crowder right there over the middle in these short yard situations. I've never actually looked at the player model of Kirk Cousins. Where is this man's eyebrows? Did anybody else catch that, or was that just me? There were no eyebrows on that man.
He did not have any eyebrows. 1st and 10. Ball from the 44-yard line. Josh Allen under center for pretty much every snap so far this drive. Gabe Davis in motion. And he's going to draw back the pass. Quick throw out to O.J. Howard, who picks up 9 on the play.
And just the embarrassment of riches that the Buffalo Bills have, to where their second string tight end could probably be a number 1 tight end anywhere else in the league is, just a testament of how much this Buffalo Bills team, it doesn't matter what way you go at them, they will be able to attack your defense. And O.J. Howard there, just a nice gain. And on 2nd of inches, you got Josh Allen back.
In the gun, 5 out. And quick routes all around the field. He throws it to the 3rd-year man out of UCF, Gabriel Davis, for the first down.
Yeah, Gabe Davis's first catch of the day. And, just a quick, easy pass, wide open. Just the Buffalo Bills letting the clock tick down as they just slowly march down the field.
Their first. Devin Singletary goes nowhere. Kendricks all over the field. After his interception earlier, he now makes the tackle. Devin Singletary getting a gain of only 1.
Yeah, Eric Kendricks kind of taking the Jermaine Edmonds approach to it, just sitting there waiting on an obvious down that the Vikings saw the run coming and just waiting for Devin Singletary to come right at him.
Josh Allen in the gun. Deep throw! He misses Stephon Diggs on what could have been a walk-in touchdown. I don't know if you see that in real life, Jake.
Yeah, I could really see Josh Allen having the connection with Stephon Diggs. It looked like Diggs was running towards the sideline where Josh Allen thought he was going to cut up field more, and that was going to be an easy in-the-breadbasket pass from Josh Allen to Diggs.
3rd and 9. Allen. He finds Crowder, and he does not pick up the first down. Great tackle by Eric Kendricks, who stops Crowder from moving the chains.
He throws it right there to James Cook in the slot, and James Cook able to extend, but not enough to get the first down right here. But as you can see, just wide open in the middle of the field, but great play by Kendricks to come down and stop the first-year man out of Georgia before he can get the first down.
And the Bills will go for it here on 4th and 1. Excuse me saying Crowder, my dyslexia jumped out. A pitch to Devin Singletary! He's going, and he takes it down to the Minnesota 12-yard line. A brilliant call there by the first-year man, Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. If we could get a replay on that, that'd be great. Oh, look at that. I called it. All right. We don't see the pitch back. But, yeah, the Minnesota Vikings thought they had Josh Allen dead to rights. And just a quick pitch to Devin Singletary, who was waiting there. Josh Allen waiting the perfect amount of time to draw the defender towards him, able to pitch it to Devin Singletary, pick up that first down, and then some. Beautiful play call there by Ken Dorsey.
1st and 10. Josh Allen, plenty of time. He steps out of the pocket. He's going to take off.
Why?
He slides down at the 6-yard line, which should have been a touchdown run, Jake.
Yeah, he had like 6 yards before the next defender was near him, and he took the slide. But nonetheless, they're just picking up a good gain there of 6, and now they're going to keep it moving here.
Josh Allen under center here. 2nd and 4 from the 6-yard line. Gives it to Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary takes it down to the 1-yard line. Couldn't quite get the extra half a yard he needed, but 10 carries for 56 yards. That's 5.6 yards a carry, ladies and gentlemen. Devin Singletary is on the roll here today.
The word for that would be very efficient. And right here, here's Zach Moss again lined up. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the ball right here.
Goal line formation. They do give it. Oh, no, a play action. But there's a flag on the field. And he grabbed Josh Allen's face mask, and that'll be a personal foul. So the Buffalo Bills will get foul from the 4-yard. That don't make any sense.
The 4-yard line. That's got to change. They should.
This should be the half-yard line.
Yeah,
now.
they should be at the half-yard line.
So the referees are making mistakes even in Madden. So at least it's realistic.
Yeah, I guess so. They moved it back, and it looks like the Bills have no problem here. Yeah, at the 4-yard line. This makes no sense, but now we see Devin Singletary back there.
Josh Allen under center, and he's stepping out of the pocket. He's going to run again. He throws it a little unnecessarily, but he threw it beyond the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring them back to the 9-yard line, and it'll be second and goal from the 9-yard line when it should have been first and goal from the 1-yard line, Jake.
Yeah, we are seeing the beautiful programming here of those at EA Tiburon, located in Orlando, Florida, where they pump this game out every single year. So definitely Josh Allen would be cognizant of where that line is in real life, and probably there could have ran the ball in, taking the defender one-on-one, but he throws a unnecessary pass. Now the Bills' second and goal here, move back 5 yards.
From the 9-yard line, Josh Allen's under center. He's giving it to Zach Moss. Zach Moss jumps over people and goes nowhere, and that is a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, and again, this whole situation could have been avoided had the game just kept the Bills at the half-yard line where they should have been after the face mask. But unless for some reason the Bills declined that, I guess. But
no, it would have been second down if they declined it. And Stephon Diggs drops the touchdown pass, and that'll bring up 4th down here, Jake.
Yeah, and we're going to see Tyler Bass come out on the field to put up 3. And honestly, the Bills are just trying to put up as many points, as guaranteed points as possible, and their defense has done pretty good against the Vikings, so they're fine with just taking 3 here. Don't feel like they need the whole 7.
Tyler Bass puts the kick up, and it's good. And a questionable couple of play calls there. Questionable calls all around, but the Bills do end up putting 3 points on the board, and it's now a 2-score game again.
Sure thing, and right now the Minnesota Vikings probably need to be looking to get some points up on the board, because if you look at that drive there by the Buffalo Bills, they took a huge chunk off the clock, only leaving 5 minutes and 10 seconds here for these Vikings.
We'll see what the Vikings can do with the time that they're given as they come out and look to put more points on the board after their first touchdown of the day, and maybe the smartest special team decision we've seen all day today, as he takes a knee in the end zone, and that'll give Kirk Cousins some of the best field position he started with so far.
Yeah, and if I'm the kick returner for the Minnesota Vikings, and for some reason I see Von Miller flying down the field at me, I'm probably going to take that knee as well.
I think we all would. Nobody wants to see number 40 coming down the field on special teams. No one wants to see number 40 coming at you in any sense. So,
yeah,
especially
exactly.
not full speed ahead. All right, so we'll see Kirk Cousins, what he can do on this drive as he takes the snap from the 25-yard line. Play action, fake, throw
wide
over
open
the
in
middle.
the middle of the field.
Wide open is KJ Osborne, it looks like.
I believe so. No, Albert Wilson.
Albert Wilson the second with the first down.
Yeah, wow, just wide open there at the middle of the field. I'd like to see what kind of coverage they had right there. Just absolutely nobody on him. Just bad play, just a bad play call there by the Bills defense. And the Minnesota Vikings now in midfield.
We'll see if they can take advantage of this field position as they take the snap from the side of Bills territory. They give it to Dalvin. Dalvin shakes a couple of men, and wow, what should have been a pickup of nothing actually turns into a gain of 9 on the play. Great run there by Dalvin Cook.
Yes, for sure. And obviously just sits there, and his linemen were able to just free up a little bit of time for him to sit back there and look what hole he had available. And right there, he takes advantage of it.
So Cousins comes out under center on 2nd and 2, and they give it back to Dalvin Cook, but they're ready for it this time. Daquan Jones picks up the tackle, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills, again, fool me once, shame on me. Or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They're not going to let that happen again. So the Buffalo Bills were ready for that.
Big 3rd down here for the Vikings offense as they try to make this a 1-score game. Dalvin Cook, he picks up the 1st down. Great tackle by Terrell Bernard, but they do give Dalvin Cook the yardage he needs to move the chains.
Breaking news here from ESPN. Texans rookie John Mechie III announces he's been diagnosed with a form of leukemia.
Oh, no.
And will not play this season.
Oh, man, that sucks.
That is not the kind of news that we wanted to break here on the Madden cast, but again, feeling like it is still something that, again, a lot of people deal with and, is hard on families and should definitely, hoping that John Mechie can, especially doing the kind of research that we did on wide receivers this season, John Mechie, you don't want to see that, and hopefully he's able to pull through.
Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers from fan base, all of us here, out to the Mechie family, as well as that organization. You never want to hear anybody has to fight cancer. 1st and 10, ball from the 18-yard line. The Vikings are inside the Bills' red zone territory. Dalvin Cook making people miss, dragging defenders. And we talked about how he wasn't having a great game. He has broken out here in the 2nd quarter as he takes the ball to the Buffalo 5-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. Look here, you just see the kind of moves that he can put. He's not an easy man to bring down. And right there, like I alluded to, his elusiveness, and just makes the cut. And just great play there.
So we will see 1st and goal here from the 5-yard line. And they give it to Cook again. He looked like he was going to walk in, but he stopped by Jordan Phillips on the play.
Yeah, and as we see Josh Allen just look on here as the PS5 power settings are now blacking out the score, but hopefully that goes away soon. I do know that the whole game did get played, so somebody came into my office while it was recording and probably hit my controller, hopefully.
And we'll see a toss play here. Goes nowhere. Von Miller on the stop.
Yeah, Von Miller there just saving what probably would have been a touchdown there by Dalvin Cook. And right there, that's what you want to see from a guy coming in. He's not just a pass rusher. He will go out there and he will stop anybody. And right there, Dalvin Cook not able to get past the power of Von Miller.
He attempts to go for the strip there, but he can't get the ball out. He does get a stop for -5 yards on the game, though. So we'll see if the Vikings can make up for it here on 3rd down. And he throws it Dalvin Cook. He stopped, but it looks like he's going to get a fresh set of downs. Absolutely. So roughing the passer call here on Ed Oliver, and Kirk Cousins will get a fresh set of downs from the 2-yard line with less than 1:30 left in the half, Jake.
Yeah, and right there, that's probably something that they needed. The refs giving the Minnesota Vikings a break there, and that's 2 roughing the passers already now on this Bills defensive line. Need to be a little bit more careful there when they're going back towards Kirk Cousins.
So 1st and goal. Kirk Cousins is
Wide
going to
open.
throw.
Oh. Didn't even look like Justin Jefferson was looking for that one. Could have just sped up a little bit there, and that would have been a wide open pass for a touchdown there. Wasn't even looking for it.
So the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. With slanted I formation, Kirk Cousins is under center. He's going to give it to Cook. And he breaks a tackle of Daquan Jones and takes it into the end zone. So the Vikings are still in this one as they score a touchdown.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd love to see close games here in the Buffalo fan base Madden cast. So right here, maybe some questionable things have happened in this game already, but right there, Dalvin Cook just basically walking in, Von Miller trying to get him before he gets across the line. But, right now, 3-point game, minute 24 left. Let's see what the Buffalo Bills can do.
So the kick is up and it is good. And Joseph puts the extra point on the board. And like Jake just said, it's a 3-point game here with just over 80 seconds left in the half, 84 seconds remaining in the half so far. We will see if Josh Allen and his Bills offense can put any points up on the board. Do you expect to see them, kind of take some shots down the field, or are they happy to go into halftime with this 3-point lead?
I don't think they're ever set. It's a little bit too close for comfort here for these Buffalo Bills. They're probably going to take advantage of all 3 of these timeouts that they have here, and they're going to make the most out of this minute 24.
Isaiah McKenzie winning the job over Tavon Austin, set back to return. And we will see a return here from the Bills wide receiver. Maybe should not have, as he only makes it out to the 17-yard line. So they start off with about a 8-yard disadvantage. So we'll see if Josh Allen can come back onto the field. Of course, we see the day Devin Singletary has had so far. Probably won't see too much of him on this drive, but he has had a great day so far.
Yeah, I could really assume that the Buffalo Bills are probably going to save Devin Singletary a little bit more for the second half. But, of course, right here, they've got the timeouts, so they're able to do pretty much whatever they want still here. Plenty of time left to escape this half with some points.
Josh Allen in the gun. He has plenty of time. He dumps it out to Jamison Crowder, who breaks a tackle and picks up about 22 on the play. So what could have been a pretty medium gain turns out to be an excellent gain. And now the Bills are moving as they call their first timeout at a half.
And there you go. And there's kind of something that I alluded to at the beginning as well. 13.6 yards after contact. That is what the Buffalo Bills have been lacking. And couple of guys that they brought in this year, that has been a focus, is to get more yards after catch, and none more evident than right there, Jamison Crowder getting a huge gain, and then the Buffalo Bills using these timeouts.
Allen in the gun, quick throw over the middle. Dawson Knox picks up about 6 or 7 on the play, and the Bills will use their second timeout. So maybe not the most efficient play call there, but they do pick up 7 on the play, Jake.
Sure, and Dawson Knox lowered his shoulder, was going to lay the hit, but 3 Vikings players were there to pull him down no matter what. So, maybe a little over the field where the coverage is a little bit more crowded is not the best plays here that the Buffalo Bills could be calling.
And you have to remember, Tyler Bass has a big boot, so we'll see if they take a chance with him. Josh Allen under pressure. He finds his man James Cook out there as they take it into Minnesota territory. And looks like they're going to let the clock run here a little bit. Or are we going to see a hurry up maybe?
I would have to assume so, right? This is still a really long field goal. Yeah, so.
No hurry up. But it is 1st and 10. Ball from the Minnesota 49. Josh Allen finds Crowder over on the sideline. Great grab by Crowder as he takes it into Minnesota territory for the 41-yard.
Sure, and he's smart to, as he's falling, just get out of bounds there, stop the clock, so now the Bills can run maybe a couple more plays before they have to settle for a field goal.
So 2nd and 3, trips left, Josh Allen in the gun. And he finds Stephon Diggs, who takes it down to the 28-yard line. And there it is, Jake. They did it. They got into field goal range for Tyler Bass. So we might see, we will see a field goal attempt coming up here for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, probably, unless the Bills want to work the sideline a little bit. It only takes a couple of seconds to really kick the field goal. So I would assume we're probably going to see the kick here. Yeah, but the Bills maybe could have run one more play there, see if they could get some.
Tyler Bass, the kick is up, and it is good. So 5 seconds left in the half. The Buffalo Bills take a 6-point lead over the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, so this just means that we're probably going to see Buffalo kick it off to Minnesota, and then we're going to get a knee that's going to send us into halftime. And right now, we got a close one here, Justice.
We certainly do. I don't know how many people were expecting a close one, especially from some of the games we've seen so far earlier in the season, but we've got a great one here in Orchard Park today as the Buffalo Bills have 20 and the Minnesota Vikings have 14. We'll get this kick off from Tyler Bass here and see if we get a return, which we will. And he goes nowhere out to the 17-yard line with 3 seconds left on the clock. DeMar Hamlin with the tackle on special teams.
Yeah, and right here, I'm assuming we're just going to see Kirk Cousins come out and take this knee with 3 seconds, or they hand it off to Dalvin Cook. But I don't really see the purpose in doing that here. The Minnesota Vikings can send us into halftime, and there's still much in play in this game.
And they'll do exactly that as a knee comes from Kirk Cousins, and that'll send us into halftime. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills 20, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings 14. And hey, we got a good one today, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here, pretty even matchup so far, and maybe one team is outplayed the other team, but due to circumstances, it's a pretty close game.
Yeah, it has been a pretty close game. And look, honestly, this might be one of the most realistic games, honestly. Like, usually we're used to seeing, like, oh, the Bills are up by, like, 27 at halftime. And, you know, is the team going to come back? And then Madden's like, oh, we're going to change the programming. And now this team is going to come back. And, you know, I watched the replay of the Green Bay game that we missed. And that's pretty much what happened. It was just the Buffalo Bills are up big, and Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, they come out at halftime and they pull the comeback. And you know, we've seen it a couple of times when we played the Vikings. They did, or not the Vikings, the Dolphins. When they came in, they basically made the big comeback and, you know, fell short. And then we saw the Jets game. They kind of started to make a comeback. They fall short. You know, this doesn't feel like one of those games. This feels like a more realistic, like, hey, the game's close. Both these are pretty good teams. I think that the Bills are probably going to be a little bit more efficient in passing, like probably passing the ball more against the Vikings. But then again, that Vikings defense is not going to be a slouch. So I'm liking the way this game's being simulated right now.
It is very realistic, simulation so far we've seen today. Very believable, obviously, with the score being reasonable as it typically is not. But we've seen a lot of great running so far, right? Devin Singletary has had himself a game, 56 yards in the first half. Dalvin Cook actually stepped it up in the second quarter as he's accumulated 61 yards, I believe it is, and a touchdown to boot.
Yeah, and both of these teams have kind of just leaned in and running the ball a little bit more. It's been taking a whole lot of time off of the clock. I mean, if we just look at kind of the whole, we can see the time up here in the corner of how long we've been alive. You know, it's kind of with these shows, we haven't been doing kind of the pregame, the halftime, and everything as much as we usually do. But sometimes, you know, you look up at the time's going quick on these games right here, and it's because of the run game specifically. It's just both these teams have been eating up the clock, and you know, I'm here for it. I like it, not just because it's shorter, but because it almost feels like, yeah, I assume the Vikings are going to come in and they're going to do play action, and they're going to, you know, run the ball on us probably efficiently with Dalvin Cook, and the Bills are going to game plan for it. Like it feels like an actual game. And I'm so excited because this is the game that I'm actually going to in real life. So obviously I would like for it to be a blowout while I'm there. I would love for it to be a blowout because then we can all just get drunk and, you know, celebrate and be happy and everything. But like, also, if it's a good football game like this, I don't know what the outcome is, but you know, right now it's been a pretty good football game, and both these teams have looked pretty good here today.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And although in real life you would see all blowouts, preferably, you know, in Madden it's a little bit of a better competition if the score is closer, or if this is a good game versus a blowout.
It's much more fun to call when it's close.
for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So we take a look at before we get to the halftime show. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. Josh Allen had a pretty good first quarter and then throw that weird interception. But outside of that, he's been pretty efficient. Kirk Cousins started off rough. The Vikings offense couldn't move the ball at all. But then in the second quarter, they started to, show up a little bit and move the chains when Dalvin Cook took off.
Sure, yeah. And, that Dalvin Cook has kind of been the lifeblood for this Vikings offense. Like, he's kind of been the guy who's stepped up. We've seen Justin Jefferson with a couple of good plays, and we've seen Irv Smith have the big one was Albert Wilson over the middle of the field. But other than that, the real guy that's been the real reliable, guy for their offense has been Dalvin Cook. So, before we get into the halftime show here, I think I'm going to do a thing that, the people who tune into the stream, we're going to give you a little bit of a surprise. I have a video that I've been working on. If you guys have known any of my stuff, I made a video a long time ago, maybe 3 years at this point, when I first got into content creating. It was called the 17-year process. And it was kind of like talking about the Bills breaking the drought. And a lot of people have been talking about the drought this offseason. Everybody likes to kind of maybe revel in it a little bit because we all lived through it. So I kind of looked at this whole video and I went, all right, I'm going to remake this. I'm going to do this. And I'm a much better video editor than I was 3 years ago. So I was like, I'm going to take this, I'm going to edit it. We're going to do it for fan base. And, if any of you guys have seen that original video, go check it out. It's got like 50,000 something views or something on I believe my channel is just called Jake Jordan. So just go watch that one if you want to see the original one too. But, while me and Justus go have ourselves like a little break to maybe go use the bathroom, get a little bit of water because, this stuff does kind of take a toll on your voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to play not even a sneak peek, the video. You are going to get like the rough cut of this video that I have right now that I showed to Justus the other day. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to load it up here. But any final words on this game before we get into that, Justus?
Yeah, I mean, so we definitely have had some people in the comment section letting us know how they feel about the game, and thank you guys. Please continue to leave comments and let us know how you feel. The touchdown run that should have been, Josh Allen puts his shoulder down and gets the touchdown. He absolutely does, and that turned into a field goal. We talked about some of Devin Singletary runs, and maybe, my man, he says Devin Singletary would have had a bigger gain in real life. So, our run defense has been great. It was great, before Dalvin Cook started just breaking ankles and everything. So, bad roughing the call penalty. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or that was Ed Oliver. It gave them a fresh set of downs and was able to, let them get the touchdown. And plays like that definitely changed the course of the game. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into the halftime show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of Jake Jordan. And
this video, it's not the 17-year process anymore because obviously the process has, go have a Joan Smart. Gotta love it, fellas. Go have a scotch on the rocks for me. It'll be good for you for your squawk box. Yeah, dude. You know what? I might just do that. I actually might just go do that, Joan Smart.
I don't have any scotch, but I would.
So here we go. The premiere of what is not the 17-year process anymore. It's just called The Process.
Let's do it.
Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point. If they do, they need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something.
30,
He's got
40,
something.
50,
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle.
I'm not into making promises, and I think you'll find that out about me soon enough as well. I'm not. The promises I'll make are we're going to be competitive. We're going to compete every day, and what I intend to do is it starts today. It started yesterday when I accepted the job the day before. We're going to compete on a daily basis. I'm going to build this culture along with the people in this building. To develop a daily standard of winning in the way we do things. You have to earn the right to win in this league, and I've learned that. And so I just believe in the process, and we're going to win going through the process. And when that time comes, we'll take the field, but we've got a lot of work to do between now and then.
The 27th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft.
With the 7th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft.
With the 16th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Tre'Davious White. Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech.
And of course, after that video premiere, we are back from halftime here in Orchard Park for the Madden cast. So definitely, let us know what you guys felt about that video on there, and catch the actual premiere for it coming soon. We're definitely going to have it up there as its own video. So of course, you guys got the sneak peek right here of that video before anybody else did. So definitely either go watch it on replay or wait for it. It's going to be its own video and co-support fan base here when it does actually drop. But of course, we're back from the half here. Justice, how we feeling about this game, my man?
I mean, I'm ready to get excited. That video really got, my nerves, it brought chills to my spine. And, just after thinking about the long drought that we had to endure as Bills fans, we now get to see a great team take the field and represent this city the way it should be represented. And we'll see if they'll continue doing that in the second half as the second half gets started. Isaiah McKenzie returns the kick. He takes it out past the 20 and takes it to the 26-yard line. The best return we've seen in a while from the Bills. And Josh Allen is ready to take the field.
Yeah, we've seen it every single week. We saw Tavon Austin for a while. The Bills are really just trying to find a guy to take that position of return man and make it their own. And it's really been hard, and it looks like nobody's really taken that. So it's kind of been a revolving door of guys, not the last few weeks, but all season.
1st and 10, ball at the 26-yard line. Josh Allen under center, 2 tight end set. He's got plenty of time. He steps out of the pocket. He throws it laser to Dawson Knox for a pickup of 9 on the play.
Sure, and right there, 2nd and inches. They're taking these short underneath things. They're not taking, deep shots down the field, which Josh Allen has showed that, yeah, he loves to throw the deep shots down the field. He can do it, but he's going to do whatever it takes to win.
Under center again. No row. Very dangerous pass, but he threads the needle out to Gabriel Davis for a pickup of 5 on the catch.
Yeah, just narrowly avoids throwing it right at a Vikings defender. And, Josh Allen, again, he'll do that. He'll throw a little bit of dangerous stuff there because he knows he can get it through and thread the needle. But, in a close game like this, maybe you don't want to see that as much.
Pistol formation, Diggs in motion, and they give it to Devin Singletary, who is grabbed, picked up, and slammed by horrible Harry Phillips, former Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, there you go. So I am definitely looking to see what changes the Minnesota Vikings have done to come into this half, because right now it feels like Buffalo should be up by much more the way they've been playing against Minnesota, but Minnesota has been hanging in there and taking advantages of all the little mistakes that the Buffalo Bills have done. So if the Bills minimize that, they should be able to take the command of this game.
Josh Allen drops back the pass, finds Jamison Crowder. Who else? That's a pickup of 8 and a first down.
25 of 30 here for Josh Allen as well. We've brought up how we feel about the way that he's been going about this season. He's been very efficient in the passing game. Yes, there are some drops, but some of them are still catchable passes. So Josh Allen, just his accuracy is tremendously better than the last time the Vikings saw him.
Josh Allen in the slant eye. Devin Singletary breaks the tackle. He's running people over. Devin Singletary with a 14-yard pickup. Nice run from the 4th-year man out of Florida Atlantic.
As we see Diggs hyping up the crowd, he wants his former team to hear it, and Devin Singletary just looked like a completely changed back this year. And maybe that's what happens when you work out a couple of years in the offseason with Dalvin Cook. That's what happens. You learn how to, put the boom on some people and also, become pretty shifty. So definitely Devin Singletary looking like a man possessed this year.
And they go right back to Singletary. He doesn't get a ton of yards this play, only a pickup of 2 on the carry.
And again, 100 rushing yards still for the Bills altogether. So, with the combination of Josh Allen and Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, this rushing attack is still, a pretty respectable one in the NFL today.
Josh Allen, screen play. It works. Devin Singletary put the stiff arm on Patrick Peterson. Wow, that was tough.
And there you go. Finally, a successful screenplay. You know, maybe Madden finally fixed itself. We're seeing one of the most realistic simulations that we have in weeks. And what a better game to have that on than the all-new, super improved, best Madden cast in Bills Mafia.
Josh Allen finds Devin Singletary again, and he goes nowhere this time. That is a no gain on the swing pass from Josh Allen.
Yeah, and we see the loyal Bills fans out here in great support here for the Buffalo Bills right now. And, you know, you can feel the energy here, Justice. This team, it's a close game. This is what football is all about, man. This is what the gridiron, this is the energy you want to feel.
Absolutely, and we'll see what the Bills can do with it as he's being blitzed. Doesn't matter. He throws it to UCF man Gabriel Davis for the pickup of 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and inches.
Gabriel Davis getting the hit laid on him by 3 different Vikings defenders, but still Josh Allen threading the needle, getting it in there, and Gabe Davis coming down with the snag.
3rd and inches. Slanted eye formation. Again, it's to Singletary, who is stopped almost immediately, but not before he can pick up a half a yard for the first down.
Yeah, he gets the first down there, and right now the Bills set up in good position. Starting this second half, man, look at how much time the Bills have just taken off of the clock here. This has been the story of the game. The Bills clock management and them kind of trying to dominate control and time of possession has been absolutely critical in this game, where Minnesota, it only feels like, has a minuscule amount of time to actually score, as we see Devin Singletary just find a great hole, and now the Bills set up at the 30-yard line.
Devin Singletary with a gain of 7 on the play. Great run, but that'll set up 2nd and goal for the Bills at the Minnesota 3-yard line. Josh Allen comes out under center.
I think we're going to see this ball go back to Devin Singletary.
He is in the backfield, and they do exactly that. He is stopped by Harrison Phillips on the play.
But set up at the 1-yard line there. Harrison Phillips probably saving a touchdown there. I'll see where the Bills go with this, but right now they've been very effective with running Motor Singletary.
So we'll see what the Bills do here on 3rd down. Josh Allen comes out. James Cook in the back. They give it to Cook, and he scores the touchdown. Walking in, and he matches his brother with a touchdown carry each.
And you know that Sean McDermott had that thought from the very beginning, that the next time they were in that situation, put everybody out wide and just open it up for James Cook to score on his brother. You know it was intentional, and there you go. He's got something that he can say, hey, look, I'm on this great team. I got drafted by a great team, and I just scored on you, brother. So there we go.
As we see Tyler Bass come on for the extra point. Oh, no, 2-point conversion attempt here.
Wide
and
open.
They pick it up. That's a touchdown. The 2-point conversion is good as Dawson Knox is wide open in the end zone. This offensive line has been spectacular today, as we see Devin Singletary having a great game. James Cook has a touchdown. Josh Allen has yet to be sacked. This new improved offensive line with Roger Saffold leading the way looks really, really good.
Yeah, it looks really great, and you got to assume that has a lot to do with, you know, Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, going with Brian Daboll to the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills, bringing back former Bills and Rams offensive line coach Aaron Kromer. And, you know, you knew and you saw those teams, Aaron Kromer leading the Rams offensive line when they had Todd Gurley, and then leading Buffalo's offense when they had Tyrod Taylor and LaShawn McCoy, and were one of the best rushing teams in the league. It's not a surprise here with the addition of Aaron Kromer. This offensive line is just paving the way for the Bills' run game to have a phenomenal season.
So we see Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins step back on the field. Dalvin Cook with 2 rushing touchdowns today. It's a 2-score game, so the Vikings need the points. Kirk Cousins in the gun. He has plenty of time. And he finds Cook out for a first down on the catch.
And look at that. Look at the beautiful texture on the blades of grass. I don't think I've ever seen that camera angle before in any of these simulations. That was great. But still, like, we see Dalvin Cook just able to show that he's not just going to be the running guy. Maybe this is what they'll do. They'll utilize him as another receiver.
First and 10, Dalvin Cook gets the carry. He finds the hole, and he breaks the tackle from Hyde, but he is brought down by All-Pro Tre'Davious White. Not before he can pick up the first down, so a gain of 10 on the play. He is 71 yards on the baseline.
Yeah, laying the boom here. As you can see, he cuts, and then he just absolutely makes Micah Hyde miss, and then he throws him off of him. And then you see Tre'Davious White come in and clean that one up. If he was able to get past there and Trey White wasn't there, Dalvin Cook might have been gone.
Kirk Cousins in the gun. He's going to drop back to pass. He has time. Not very much as he gets leveled by Von Miller, it looked like on the play. But he does throw the ball away for an incomplete pass. So the defensive line getting to the quarterback there to force the pressure.
Yeah, and great decision by Kirk Cousins to just throw it away. But right there's the Bills' defensive line showing with the addition of Von Miller, they are not playing around. Oh!
Dalvin Cook finds another hole, breaks another tackle, and on his way to a 14-yard pickup. He didn't start the game off great, Jake, but now he is 86 yards rushing with just 21 carries.
For sure, and if there's one thing you don't want to see if you're the Buffalo Bills is Dalvin Cook running at your secondary, especially with his superstar X factor basically about to be activated. You know, that's something that we've seen with Derrick Henry, that if you're this Bills defense, you don't want to see it running back with that X factor.
So we see him get the ball again. Not this time. Guess who? Mr. Tremaine Edmonds with the stop and a pick of a 3 on it.
Is Tremaine Edmonds the Dalvin Cook stopper? Because he sure is here today.
Looks like it. Maybe, James maybe gave Tremaine some tips on, what his brother does and his what he looks like he does in his weak and high points.
You think
it looks like
he
working.
Told him? You think he said, hey, he's probably going to run this way? And Tremaine's like, thanks for the info.
Maybe. 2nd and 7. Teron Johnson on the blitz forces Kirk Cousins to throw the ball quickly, completes the pass out to Justin Jefferson for a gain of 5 on the play.
I guess having the brother of one of the, better, or even you can say top 5 running backs in the league, I guess it's almost like having, the answers for the test beforehand. He's been watching him his whole life, so that's got to be great.
We see what happened with T.J. Watt. We saw what happened with Nick Bosa. Why not? Dalvin Cook on the carry, and he picks up the first down. Only a gain of 2, but that's enough to move the chains.
I also feel like that Madden, Shaq Lawson looks a little bit more rotund in this game than he actually is in real life. I mean, am I seeing things wrong? I mean, look, we have seen Shaq Lawson. He does not have a gut like that, Madden. Come on now. Give my man some respect.
He does pick up the first. He does get the tackle on the play. So we will see 1st and 10 here from the Buffalo 30-yard line. And Kirk Cousins drops back the pass. He's going to his left. He finds Adam Thielen out to the Buffalo 30-yard line, and that's a pickup of 17.
Yeah, and Adam Thielen there just coming back, grabbing it, and then able to keep his feet in bounds there. Again, these wide receivers, there are no slouch there with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson on the outside. It's just this Bills secondary and those cornerbacks have done a really good job of locking them down.
They certainly have, as you see the rookie Kyer Elam on the former All-Pro Adam Thielen. Dalvin Cook on the carry. Got more yards than he probably should have. A 5-yard gain on the play.
Sure, yeah, and right now in this kind of territory at the 8-yard line, running with Dalvin Cook has kind of been the bread and butter for this Vikings offense, so why stop?
We'll see what they do here on 2nd and 5. From the 8-yard line, Kirk Cousins drops back the pass.
Look at the time.
He has all day. Not anymore. A.J. Epinesa, the third-year man out of Iowa, gets the sack. And we've seen what A.J. Epinesa can do, but this is a really big year for him.
For sure. And I mean, if you're Kirk Cousins and you have that much time, you have no excuse to not get rid of that ball. When your offensive line gives you that much time and you still can't do anything, it's a testament to the Bills' secondary, but Kirk Cousins should have thrown that ball away.
We'll see what he does this time on 3rd and 15. He's under pressure. Pressure, save a touchdown on that play. That's big Ed Oliver getting the pressure on Kirk Cousins as he just missed Justin Jefferson.
He just did, and right there, you know, the pressure of the Buffalo Bills, they turned it on there in those last couple of drives. And Kirk Cousins, if he would have just hit Justin Jefferson in stride there, that would have been a touchdown, but now they got to settle for 3.
The kick is up. It is good. So what was a 14-point game is now an 11-point game, and the Vikings put points on the board, but they probably needed a touchdown there, Jake.
Yeah, they did, because this Buffalo Bills offense, you know, they've kind of found their groove, and, you know, they've been having their way with this Minnesota defense. They've had to work a little bit harder to get these yards and to move on them, but definitely, you know, as the game wears on, these guys on the defense get a little bit more tired, so these offenses need to start taking more advantage of these defenses, and right now, Minnesota hasn't been able to do it, but Buffalo surely has.
The kick is off, and we will see a return here from Isaiah McKenzie as he runs toward the sideline. He misses every single blocker that was out in front of him and allowed the other team to take him down at the 18-yard line.
And I truly hope this is something that is improved in the next Madden game, is that, you know, the return game, they don't just run in a straight line or have a predetermined path of where they're going. Make it a little bit more dynamic, because right now, you know, we've just seen it after simming all these games. I think the longest return we've ever seen is a 32-yard return, which is great, but the sample size, if you were to take the average is probably under 20 every time.
For sure. Josh Allen in the gun. Dumps it all to his man, Dawson Knox, who picks up a gain of 5.
Yeah, and Josh Allen just was in the line of fire right there and was about to get lit up, and he's able to get Dawson Knox for 5 yards there before he falls out of bounds. And, you know, Josh Allen just completely looking all over the field and able to make that play.
So we see here on 2nd down, Josh Allen is under center with trips right. He's got a man in motion. Oh, the fake to the man in motion and gives out to Stephon Diggs, who makes a man miss. And juking that man is enough to get some extra yards and pick up the 1st down.
It sure is. And, I mean, we see his X Factor has almost been, you know, activated. So what are we going to see here from Stephon Diggs? I assume we're going to see something pretty soon.
Josh Allen in the gun. He drops back the pass.
There's that yard after catch that we've been looking for. And again, the more that they get that, the more that these receivers do that favor for Josh Allen and they're able to pick up more of these 1st downs, the less that this Buffalo team is going to have to work to move down the field. Josh
Allen in the gun after the pass to Dawson Knox went for a 1st down. He's under a bit of pressure, steps out of the pocket, finds his man Gabriel Davis downfield, and he takes it into Minnesota territory down to the 40-yard line. And that is now 267 passing yards for Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen, again, been very efficient with these throws, buying time. You know, he's had a couple of misfires, but right there, Gabe Davis just wide open. Why not throw it to him? That's easy money.
So before the matchup, we asked for the over-under of 350 passing yards for Josh Allen. Looks like he could be on his way, so we'll see what happens there. As the give is to Devin Singletary. Ooh. Devin Singletary! Get off me, Kendricks! Devin Singletary pushes the man off of him, picks up a gain of 8 on the play.
He carried him. He carried Kendricks for at least 4 yards before he pushed it. That is some grown man strength right there.
After the brilliant run by Singletary, 2nd and 2, Josh Allen under center. He steps out of the pocket. He's going to take off and pick up the 1st down. Josh Allen with his fourth run of the game. That moves the chains.
And, everybody wants to talk about, Josh Allen, him running inflates the rushing stats for the Buffalo Bills. But I'll tell you right now, Devin Singletary and the rest of the rushing game this season, Josh Allen has barely accounted for a quarter of these rushing runs.
Allen under the gun. Quick throw. It's picked off.
Dangerous throw there.
Dangerous throw. He was looking for Dawson Knox over the middle, and it's picked off by the safety.
And I can't wait to see this replay. Is there even a replay?
No replays coming, but Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook step back onto the field, and they got the 3 points out of the last drive, but now we'll see if they can, make something happen after the turnover.
Well, I guess if there's a silver lining, you can say that at least Josh Allen threw the interception around the 29-yard line, so the Vikings aren't deep in anybody's field position.
I formation they give is to Dalvin Cook, and he goes nowhere. Matt Milano was ready for it this time.
Yeah, Matt Milano able to come in there and stop Dalvin Cook. And look, with a little bit of time left here, maybe trying to get your receivers a little bit more involved, just because you still are down quite a bit against these Buffalo Bills. So maybe running isn't exactly the best option.
And the gun, they give it to Cook again. Tremaine Edmonds, the fifth-year man, out of Virginia Tech, stops Dalvin Cook again for no gain, and we were expecting to see maybe him go over 100 yards on this drive. Not on that play.
Yeah, 7 tackles for Tremaine Edmonds. He has just known exactly where Dalvin Cook is going to be on every run.
3rd and 10. Kirk Cousins is under pressure. He's going to let it go deep. And Adam Thielen doesn't go for the attempt. Kyer Elam does, but it falls incomplete.
I mean, just look at right there. That tells you all you need about the game. 309 passing yards by the Bills. Just almost 200 more than the Vikings here, because the Vikings want to keep forcing the run game, but they keep taking as much clock down as possible, and the Bills are just doing the same thing. So it's not giving the Vikings any time to really do anything.
So we see the Vikings go 3 and out on the drive as the punter steps on the field on 4th down. Starting this drive, Dalvin Cook had 97 rushing yards, Jake. And I was excited to see who would get to 100 yards first between Devin Singletary and Dalvin Cook. And Devin Singletary now will get his opportunity.
Yeah, he will. And, Josh Allen still with 37 attempts on the day. The Bills are in prime position here to just keep using Devin Singletary, run this clock down, and make the Minnesota Vikings have no choice but to keep throwing the ball, which is something they've been reluctant to do all game.
Josh Allen comes out into the gun after the interception. He's at his own 44-yard line. They give it to James Cook, and he's taken down after a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins, eyebrowless Kirk Cousins over there trying to hype up his team, but they can't all stop staring at his eyes, and they're not really paying attention to what he is actually saying. So he's probably trying to hype them up to tell them we need to actually go out there and score, but handing the ball off to Dalvin Cook every play is probably not going to win them this game.
Josh Allen, the kid, is back to Cook, and he goes nowhere. Harrison Phillips, we said he was quiet earlier. Not so much anymore. He's made 3 pretty big plays in his half. Yeah,
he has, and he probably went in there and they felt that he needed to step it up, especially playing against his former team. And now, he's kind of reading what the Bills are doing.
3rd and 8, pretty important 3rd down here for the Vikings defense. Josh Allen's going deep, and he just misses his man, Stephon Diggs. Great coverage on the play by rookie Andrew Booth Jr., and they cannot connect. We will see a punt here on 4th down.
Yeah, and the Bills, again, 3 and out. That's not what you expected them to do, kind of what you've been seeing from them so far. And now they don't even take 2 minutes off the clock here. And a pretty much a shank there from rookie Matt Araiza. And we're going to see right now if the Vikings are going to still go with their plan of attack of just handing the ball to Dalvin Cook, or if they're going to try to open it up a little bit more here.
So back-to-back awful punts puts us around the 40-yard line. The Vikings will start with pretty good field position, just 13 yards out of Buffalo territory. So down by 11 points, the Vikings need to put some points on the board here. We'll see if they can with Kirk Cousins coming out in the gun. The screenplay does not work. Dalvin Cook misses the grab.
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook, of course, we've always said that Madden, the screenplay doesn't really work. That's why I was surprised earlier in the game when we actually saw one that did work. But right now, you need a little bit less of those if you're the Minnesota Vikings, because you've only got a limited time left, and 11 points is a bit of a weird hole to try to get yourself out of.
Kirk Cousins back in the gun on 2nd and 10. He's got time. He finds his man, Adam Thielen. 2 men in the same area. The All-Pro comes down with it for a gain of 4.
Yeah, he does. And right now, maybe you want to see a little bit more of that with the Minnesota Vikings opening it up a little bit more. Air it out. Don't just give it to Dalvin Cook on every single time. But now on 3rd and 6 here, you almost feel like they have to air it out.
And it looks like we'll see exactly that. And a blitz is coming. Great coverage there by the All-Pro Micah Hyde. Or no, Micah Hyde isn't an All-Pro. But still, great coverage nonetheless.
Second team All-Pro.
It was second team. So All-Pro Michael Hyde. As he breaks up the pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
And now they're going to punt it away. And, we've seen basically this 4th quarter 2 punts, and now in about 6 seconds will only be 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. Not great offensive play to start it out.
So the punt lands inside the 20-yard line, better than the previous 2 we've seen. And Josh Allen will step back out onto the field. The last drive was pretty generic, a little pedestrian. 2 runs that went nowhere and then an incomplete pass. So we'll see what the Bills offense can do here.
Yeah, hopefully. I would like to see them, they brought James Cook in a little bit, but I'd like to continue to see them use Devin Singletary, because he seems to have the formula of what's working against this Vikings defense.
Josh Allen gives it to James Cook, who gets more yards than he had in the previous drive. That's a pickup of 6 on the carry.
And James Cook, as soon as I say that, James Cook is like, here's 6 for you. So, let's see exactly what the Bills' plan of attack is here. Maybe, we'd like to see them continue to use the short gains to set up the runs and allow the running backs to get those first downs, and even more so, which is what we've been seeing here all day today.
2nd and 4, James Cook in the backfield with Josh Allen. Josh Allen drops back the pass. He has plenty of time. And he finds his man, Jamison Crowder, and that's going to be a 1st down on the play. Great pickup.
Yeah, and Josh Allen has 306 yards today. So for those over-bettors, maybe we will see it, but also, maybe Josh Allen again. Like I've said, Devin Singletary, we see he's on the field. Maybe we're going to see them use him a little bit more now that they're kind of at midfield.
Bills come out in the I formation, hard count. They give it to Singletary, and that's a pickup of 3 on the play. So Dalvin Cook has yet to break over 100 yards. Neither is Singletary. We see some James Cook runs here, but Singletary is about 5 yards away from the century mark.
Yeah, and if I was a betting man, I would probably say that Devin Singletary will get those 5 yards by the end of the game, and we've seen him go over the century mark plenty of times, and there you go, right there. He gets over the century mark, 104 yards on 19 rushes for Devin Singletary. And yeah, I would say that Devin Singletary this year has had more 100-yard games than he has had in his entire career.
Absolutely. I believe he's only had 1 or 2 so far, and who needs the end of the game when you can get over 100 yards on this play here as he picks up the 1st down. Great run there from Devin Singletary in this Bills offense.
Yeah, right at the 50-yard line.
So we will see Josh Allen back out there in the gun. Play action, blitz coming. He finds his man, Isaiah McKenzie, makes a man miss and takes it down to the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 14 on the pass. Josh Allen feeling himself.
And Isaiah McKenzie is not a guy that you want to see out in open space, because as soon as he sees the green, the Jets turn on, and he is just going to absolutely burn you. So good on Patrick Peterson to go down there and stop him.
Josh Allen, draw play. Devin
that
Singletary gets leveled, but not before he picks up 6 on the play.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills offensive line basically opened up 2 holes you could have drove some F-350s through, man. That was absolutely beautiful.
So when the Vikings need it most, their defense doesn't look like they're doing awesome as the Bills come out in the slanted eye. Devin Singletary picks up the first down there, and they're rolling. This offense is doing no wrong. The Vikings defense letting them do whatever they want.
Yeah, and the Vikings defense here, again, like I said, when you get in the fourth quarter, this defense is going to get tired. And if the Buffalo Bills continue to effectively run and just march down the field and take down this clock, again, approaching 5 minutes already of time taken off the clock, you know, this defense is going to get tired.
Josh Allen, he play action on the draw. He's got plenty of time. He drops it down to Dawson Knox, who picks up a gain of 9 on the play, and that'll bring 2nd and inches, which is almost better than a fresh set of down, because you can do whatever you want here on 2nd down, Jake.
Sure you can, and the best thing about it is he stayed in bounds too. So again, we're approaching about 5 minutes of just this possession alone. The Buffalo Bills are in complete control of this game.
Josh Allen in the gun, quick throw out to his left. Isaiah McKenzie, the face of the franchise, with his 3rd catch of the game. And you can see that the Vikings are actively trying to take the ball out of the ball carrier's hands.
Of course, the one thing, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, you're trying to do right here is, you know, force a fumble, do something, because the Buffalo Bills, you don't want them to escape with any points.
Crooked eye formation. Josh Allen, the give is to Devin Singletary, who finds a big hole and is leveled by Harrison Smith, but 5 yards pickup. I mean, you can hit him as hard as you want. If you give me 5 yards every run, I'm happy.
Yeah, he came in with the old JBL clothesline and absolutely laid him out. And, you know, Devin Singletary, it's 5 yards, but again, the Buffalo Bills, they're really looking at the clock right now.
Josh Allen. The give is to Singletary, and he gets 1 yard on the play.
And again, 3rd and 4 here. You know, the Minnesota Vikings, again, they don't want the Buffalo Bills to escape with any points. But if you can hold them to 3, that is the bare minimum that you can do here, and it'll especially keep you in this game.
Allen's in the gun.
Look at the time.
He has some time. He's going to step out of the pocket, and he's going to slide down before he picks up the first down. Realize Josh Allen probably scores a touchdown there, but that'll bring up 4th down, and the Bills will bring their field goal team onto the field, Jake.
Or at least we think they will. I would, you know, sometimes you see Tyler Bass run out on the field, but then all of a sudden you see, nope, Tyler Bass is out on the field.
4th and 2. You're already up by 11. You might as well just take the 3 and make it a 2-touchdown game, which they do. And it'll be 31-17. The Buffalo Bills are up by 2 touchdowns on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and the way that the Buffalo Bills have been playing right now, the Minnesota Vikings, I'm not saying to scrap the run game, but maybe they need to do a little bit more of what the Bills have been doing, which is using the pass to set up the run and not just continue to run the ball and let the clock just wind down, because with 6 minutes and 55 seconds left, you know, the way Minnesota has been playing is almost as if they're in the lead, which is to just run the ball, run the clock down. That's what you can't do when you're down 2 scores.
And the kick is off from Tyler Bass. We will see a return here. And that is the worst return of the day, as Teron Johnson with the stop on special teams. He only takes it to the 11-yard line, Jake.
Yeah, and, you know, it's something that we've seen basically all seasons, that the return game for pretty much every team in these simulations has been absolutely poor, and nobody can really do anything because of the programming, but still just a terrible return there for the Vikings. And, you know, we're gonna see what they can do here, but they need to really open it up.
Kirk Cousins steps out onto the field, and they do not care. They're going to keep running, and Dalvin Cook goes over the century mark with a pickup of 15 on the play. That's a Minnesota first down.
Well, if they're going to keep running Dalvin Cook, then they need to hurry up and get back up to the line, because they need to just continually go at this Buffalo Bills defense, because even though they've had a pretty good day, they're still getting tired here.
Cousins is in the gun, and that's going to be a false start. So 15-yard gain on the run. They're going to need 15 yards in order to move the chains here on this next set of downs.
And I'm not going to say that they can't do it, because obviously I believe they will. But just like 1st and 15 here, again, Dalvin Cook is a great player, and you want to use him the most, but they need to open up this offense a little bit more, because right now they're just going to keep watching that clock go down every single time they snap the ball.
A blitz is coming, but Cousins picks it up as he gets the ball out to Justin Jefferson. That's a note. That's a gain of 5 on the play.
Score there, and right there you get Taron Johnson coming in with the tackle on Jefferson, and Jefferson's pretty much been quiet all game outside of a couple of nice sideline catches. This Bills secondary not giving the Vikings many options.
Cousins is in the gun, trips right. Got a 4-man rush from Buffalo. He's got time. He's throwing deep.
That caught?
Great catch by, what was that, Smith?
I believe
It's
so,
like
Jr., but I don't think that he caught that inbounds.
No, it was an incomplete pass. It was a great catch, but too bad his foot was on the line. So we'll see 3rd and 10 here from the Vikings offense. Cousins drops back the pass, 4-man rush. He's got time. He's going to dump it out to Dalvin Cook, who breaks a tackle. And great play there by Dalvin Cook. Maybe saves the drive, because you don't want 4th down in your own territory there. Now you don't have to worry about it after the broken tackle.
100%. You know, Dalvin Cook is a guy that I said, just leave him out in space, use him more as a receiver as well, and he's going to make people miss, and he does that just there, and he gets the 1st down.
Cousins back in the gun. 5 minutes left. They're giving it to Cook. Cook gets past Bernard. Cook with the 1st down on the play. Tackle made by Micah Hyde.
Yeah, and again, not James Cook. Dalvin Cook is leading this team, and just absolutely, like we saw him in the 2nd quarter, putting this team on his back, whether it's receiving or running, and saying, like, no, we got to get back in this game. And right now, down 2 scores, you need someone to take over.
Well, when your running back is getting you 11 yards a pop, you don't mind running. Not this time. The rookie, Terrell Bernard, stops him in the backfield for a loss of 2. And that is the danger of running when you're down by 2 scores in less than 5 minutes in the game.
Exactly, and then as soon as you go for this run and he gets tackled there by Bernard, this clock just keeps on ticking. So if they don't hurry up and get back up to the line, they're just going to watch their chance to win this game keep ticking down 1 second at a time.
2nd and 12. Ball from the Buffalo 48-yard line. Cousins is in the gun. He's got Cook in the backfield with him. He drops back the pass, 4-man rush from his Bills offense. And he throws it out to Smith Jr., who hit Wilson the second, excuse me. And he doesn't get very much and doesn't get out of bounds. So maybe a counterproductive play there, Jake.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're really going to take a shot like that, you need to take it down the field, not for just 2 yards.
5 wide, 4-man rush for Cousins. He throws and wow. Dalvin Cook absolutely puts the stiff arm on Tre'Davious White, and he gets a gain of 15 on the play. Dalvin Cook is doing it all by himself.
But again, no sense of urgency here really from the Vikings to really get back and continue to play. I know they still have all 3 timeouts left, but the way their defense has been playing against Buffalo, they're going to need as much time as possible.
Cousins is in the gun with Cook in the backfield. Cook's blocking. And Oliver hits him, and it causes an incomplete pass. Could have been dangerous either way, but Ed Oliver with the pressure.
Yeah, Ed Oliver getting there, and Kirk Cousins just getting the ball out in time, basically throwing it away. And right now you got to assume that this Bills defensive line is just trying to put that final nail in the coffin.
Kirk Cousins. 2 guys in the backfield. 4-man rush. And Oliver, more pressure. He finds Dalvin Cook up the sideline. That's a pickup. 5 on the play, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, with 2 minutes and 50 seconds, the Minnesota Vikings can really play this out here. They need to escape with 7, so it's still only 3rd and 5, so they need to have a really nice play call here.
Under center on 3rd and 5, Kirk Cousins with 2 tight ends lined up. Quick throw, dangerous throw, but he finds Adam Thielen for the first down. Now they're down inside the Bills' red zone at the 15-yard.
Sure, and you have to assume that they're not going to just let this clock keep ticking down. Hopefully they have a hurry up, but maybe they're going to play it down for 2 minutes. Maybe they have some sort of that was
very
odd.
dangerous.
Matt Milano's arm, I believe, was still in front of Thielen's face when he caught that ball.
Under center again is Cousins. 2 tight end set. Dalvin Cook is in the backfield. Cousins throws. Cousins, quick throw. Finds his man. That's the tight end. And he picks up a gain of 5 on the play. And that looks like it will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we might see some urgency now from this Vikings offense.
Well, you would assume they probably want to get one more play in before the 2-minute warning, but they don't use that to their advantage at all. So still down 2 scores here going into the 2-minute warning, and they only have 2 minutes. They still have 3 timeouts, but still.
Cousins under center with Cook in the backfield. 2nd and 5 from the Buffalo 9-yard line. Cousins drops back the pass. Throws it short. Smith picks up a gain of 2 on the play, and with 1:50 left, you really need to take some shots to score a touchdown here, Jay.
Yeah, not a underneath pass to a tight end, and then don't use a timeout. There's the no huddle, but still.
Not very much time left on the clock because Cousins drops back the pass. He's got a lot of time. He lets it fly, and that's a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, the second-year man out of LSU, gets a touchdown, and now we have a 1-score game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and, we got a 1-score game here, but the way that the Buffalo Bills been playing, and Devin Singletary playing behind this Bills offensive line, I mean, let's not say right there that was beautiful by Justin Jefferson to get open, and Kirk Cousins had just enough time to get the ball to him. But right now, the things that have gone wrong for the Minnesota Vikings, the missed field goal, the missing of Justin Jefferson when he was wide open in the end zone, like the Minnesota Vikings still being in this game while still having all these mistakes, but Buffalo has still played a very good game. Just shows that, anything can happen any given Sunday.
We've seen a ton of Cam Lewis on the field today, Jake. Tre'Davious White is back. Kyer Elam's playing. We haven't seen a lot of Dane Jackson.
Not really.
Is Cam Lewis maybe taking that spot for Dane?
I'm not quite sure, honestly. I mean, of course, I know what the depth. Oh, we're gonna see an onside kick here.
Onside kick coming with 3 timeouts.
That was the worst onside kick I have ever seen.
That was so bad. Dawson Knox recovers the onside kick. That really didn't give his team a chance at all, and the coach is just in disbelief after witnessing what we all saw.
Yeah, that is probably. I wish we could get a replay of it too. I'd love to see it in slow-mo, just how bad of a kick that was. And yeah, now the Buffalo Bills, if you wanted to say that they pretty much had all control here, they definitely do now, being at midfield.
So the Bills will come on the field looking to end the game with just 1 first down. Josh Allen starts off under center with a 2 tight end set. Zach Moss is in the backfield. He gets the carry. Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, picks up the first down, and that'll just about do it, ladies and gentlemen, as the Vikings are forced to use their first timeout at a half. They can no longer stop the clock. And with Buffalo in field goal territory, this game looks all about over, but never say never. And the game isn't over until the fat lady sings.
I was about to say, Justice, don't say anything, because Josh Allen is, if they even try to pass it here, there might be some shenanigans afoot.
So I formation, the give is to Zach Moss, and he picks up gain of 7 on the play, and the Vikings use their second timeout of the game with 1:18 left in the game.
Yeah, and honestly, they're burning these timeouts, but it really doesn't matter because the Buffalo Bills have just absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage this game. And, you know, we got to give the hats off to this Buffalo Bills offensive line. They've been absolutely stellar today.
Crooked eye formation with a 2 tight end set. Zach Moss picks up the first down, and that's it. The Vikings use their final timeout, and we'll likely see Josh Allen and his offense come out and take a few knees to end this one. 502 total yards from this Bills offense today, Jake.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure, did Josh Allen throw for over 350?
I don't think so. We've seen a lot of Devin Singletary toward the end. And there it is. The first knee. We'll probably see 2 or 3 of those, but the game's pretty much over. The Bills are going to take this one and move to 8-1 on the season after a really tough victory here today, only winning by 7 points here after some blowouts earlier in the year, Jake.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, you know, they had some blowouts. They're kind of really settling into their own, and now teams are game planning for the Buffalo Bills with Von Miller, with Jamison Crowder. They're kind of, you know, figuring out exactly what this team is going to be, and you know, they're playing them a lot tougher, and especially Minnesota, who's vying to win their division against the Green Bay Packers, who are a little bit weaker of a team this year. You know, this was going to be a hard-fought game, and you know, obviously the Vikings it's still a 1-score game. It's not like they came in here and got absolutely blown out, but you know, of course, if you've been following along this journey, obviously you'd know this is the best Madden cast around. As Justice dropped something on camera that just absolutely shook me, but definitely, yeah, no, make sure that you guys tune in here every single week before you head on out, I'm sure, unless you want to catch the post-game show with me and Justice. But right now, you know, slap that like button on the way out, hit that subscribe button, join the OG Bills Mafia. We'd love to have you. We do this every single week.
Absolutely. And that's it here from Orchard Park as the Buffalo Bills take the W 31, Minnesota Vikings 24. So a very tough matchup. One of the closest games we've seen so far, the second closest outside of the Packers game. So the NFC North giving the Bills, you know, a few problems with the L from the Packers, you know, 1-score game from the Vikings, who were thought to be a lower level NFC team.
Yeah. But those are the 2 best NFC North teams. So now the only 2 that are left for the Buffalo Bills on their schedule, you know, they escaped the Packers and the Vikings going 1-1, and now they have the Bears and the Lions on Thanksgiving. So, you know, definitely they've gotten through the brunt of their schedule. A lot of their schedule now, a lot of slightly easier opponents outside of New England that they have to face still. We have yet to call a New England versus Buffalo Bills game yet. So you know that New England is just vying for the chance to get after the Buffalo Bills. But right now, with the Buffalo Bills being, what was it, 8-1 you said now?
8-1. Yep.
So now that the Buffalo Bills are 8-1, you got to assume, like, since we don't know if the other teams are really still involved in the race for the AFC East, but right now they've been dominating with a win over the Dolphins and a win over the Jets.
In this game today, we saw Dalvin Cook go over 110 yards rushing for 2 touchdowns. We also saw Devin Singletary go over 120 yards rushing. It was a great day for both offensive lines. And although the Vikings really probably shouldn't have ran as much as they did because they were losing, still great performances from both backs.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Devin Singletary, again, we can't talk enough about what Devin Singletary has done. You know, this year he has definitely been a bright spot in this Bills offense. A little bit more you know, some people don't like to give him the credit that he truly deserves. But, I think that this year in this simulation with this line coached by Aaron Cromer, we could see a lot more of Devin Singletary unlocked here with a little bit of even play calling between pass and run. And this Buffalo Bills offense that we saw here today, using the pass to set up the run, if that's what they do this year, they're going to be a hard team to stop, man. And Dalvin Cook, I mean, he's the lifeblood of that, offense for the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, they have Thielen. Yes, they have Justin Jefferson. But when they go up against a team like this that has a secondary like this, he's the guy that they have to turn to. And, that's why he is who he is.
How about Josh Allen? I mean, he threw the one kind of weird interception there in the second quarter, but outside of that, he was phenomenal. Going, 31 of 38, had over 300 yards passing, a couple touchdowns, and maybe a few rushing touchdowns that should have been that weren't, but he had a pretty overall pretty good game.
Yeah, so Josh Allen actually only threw for one touchdown today to Jamison Crowder, which is crazy. Usually we see a couple of those, but really a lot of it came down to throwing it, getting it to the 1 yard line and just letting those guys run them in. Devin Singletary, James Cook, Zach Moss. Like it was that was the kind of game that it was today. Was the passing game wasn't on full display, but the running game surely was. And they used the pass game to help the run game. And it was just an overall great execution on both fronts. So even though the passing stats aren't filled with touchdowns and everything like that, still Buffalo Bills offense today was incredible.
Yeah, and the Bills defense, they gave it 24 points and they got no turnovers, but the Bills were still able to come away with the W. And I think that's impressive to lose the turnover battle and still win the game, versus a pretty tough team. You got to give them credit for that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And again, the turnover battle, we've seen it in multiple years before. The Buffalo Bills, especially early on in Josh Allen's career, losing the turnover battle cost them a bunch of games. So we've seen games too where, Josh Allen, I believe is when they played the Chiefs, Josh Allen had a ton of picks, and then so did Patrick Mahomes. They won the turnover battle somehow in that game when both quarterbacks just seemed to be off their game. And it's still very important here. And you could see that the Vikings were trying to just get that one last turnover that they needed at the end of the game. But the Buffalo Bills, being the disciplined team that they are, just absolutely crushed it and pulled that game out. And it was a hard-fought win.
Absolutely. So the Bills moved to 8-1 so far. Next week, they'll be taking on the Cleveland Browns. So, Jake, let us know, are we going to see, Deshaun Watson next week?
Deshaun Watson. From all accounts, the Cleveland Browns are prepared for a 8-game suspension of Deshaun Watson. So 8 games would mean that he's been playing for a couple of weeks at this point in the season, and he will be playing and he will be the starter against the Buffalo Bills next week. So
would you expect him to see the Deshaun Watson? He hasn't played in what, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Or was it 2.5 years now? Or is it 1.5 years?
No, it's 2. It's like basically I believe he didn't play all of last season.
Right.
And then I don't know.
He played a year before that?
Yeah, I think he did because they went like 4-12.
Yeah, you're right. So after a year and a half of not playing any football, you get a couple of warm-up games and boom, immediately you have to go up against this stout Bills defense with this secondary. What are you expecting to see from Deshaun Watson in the Cleveland Browns offense?
I'm actually expecting the Cleveland Browns offense to be a lot more geared towards because they have like Donovan Peoples-Jones and stuff on the outside. Not really, burners. They lose Jarvis Landry. Odell is obviously not back there. So the wide receiver room isn't crazy. They still have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I'm actually expecting a lot of running, and for Bills fans, I expect it to be a lot more of what the Bills were running when they had Tyrod Taylor. Definitely going to see their tight ends get involved. You're really going to see those running backs, and you're going to see Deshaun Watson probably use his legs a bunch. Obviously, I'm saying this. I know nothing about what Madden is going to simulate that game to be, but, I would assume that that's probably what they're going to do, and they're going to, factor in the wide receivers a little bit as they can get open, but I could really see a really heavy running game from the Browns next week.
We will see what they have to offer. But that'll do it for us today. Buffalo Bills take the W. They moved to 8-1, as we said. 31-24. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. And we also got to see the world premiere of Jake's process video. Awesome. So that'll be dropping soon. Make sure you guys tune in for that. And we will see you next week when the Buffalo Bills take on the Cleveland Browns. And then after that, we got Thanksgiving. So a lot to look forward to. Make sure you guys tune in. But that'll do for us. This is the original Bills Mafia Buffalo fan base. We want to thank you all for everything you guys do. You guys know we appreciate every single like, comment, subscription, retweet, repost, share, everything you guys do. So continue, and we appreciate it. And thank you so much for the love, guys, as well. So
sure, and definitely make sure if you're here on YouTube right now, go check out the In My Blood hype video that dropped with Josh Allen that we dropped this week. Justus made that one. That was an awesome video. You'll definitely enjoy that one. It's starting to pick up a lot more traction right now, so that's why I've held off on dropping the process video, because I want that video to get as much love as possible. So go check that one out, drop a like on it, and then of course maybe be on the lookout for something tomorrow on Twitter. If you follow Fanbase on Twitter, definitely be on the lookout for that, because there's going to be an opportunity that you guys are not going to want to miss out on.
Big things coming. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day for Fanbase, so make sure you guys tune in. But like I said, that'll do it for us. We'll see you guys here next week. We'll also see you guys Friday on First Round Bye. I'll see you guys Tuesday on Justice for All. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the original Bills Mafia. We are out. Go Bills.
Go Bills.